We just quickly check it. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Whew. Active from toes to fingertips. Then arms down here. This is also very, very hard. I'm not sure if it's easier. If you nail this, all of your other movements are going to get so much better. So with the hollow hold, I'm going to assume you either don't know it or you've done it before, but if you've done it before, great. Let's clean it up even more, okay? So the way you're going to start is down on the ground, on a mat preferably, because your low back is going to be on the ground. Your knees are going to be bent, your feet are going to be flat on the ground. When you're lying here, you're naturally going to have a curve in your lower back. And the way that you can test that is you take one of your hands, I'll take my right hand, and I'm going to just sandwich it underneath. There's this nice gap here. Okay, I said it was a nice gap. Today, it's not a nice gap. We don't want that gap, all right? We want the opposite. And the way that you make that gap go away is you have to engage your core. You have to brace your core and you have to press down with your lower back into the floor. So then you test it again and you're like, oh, okay, now I feel my low back. It's pressing into the ground. There's no more gap. This is good. Do that. Perfect. What are we going to do with our arms? We're going to turn them into blades. So a lot of people are really, really loose with their hands. We're going to turn them into blades. Good. And when you lift up, a lot of people think lifting up with the shoulders. And even though that's correct, I want you to think lift with my chest. Lift with my chest. Then I'm activating core more and I'm lifting from my lower body up as opposed to upper body here. I want as much core engagement as I can get. All right. So let's put this together. First of all, test, core on, beautiful, good. Now I want you to think with those lower abs, I want to lift my legs off the ground, I want to point my toes, good. I want to lead and lift with my chest, very good. And I want my arms to be blades, good. Here's another step, the neck should be nice and long. Don't crunch it, don't go too far back, have it right in line with the rest of your spine. It should feel nice and relaxed, right here. Core's on, my body's already shaking. You might not even see it, but there's these micro shakings happening. And it's because stabilizer muscles are activating. I got to remember to breathe. Please remember to breathe. That's one of the hardest parts of this hollow hold, is just holding it right here. Woo, and I'm going to sit up and give myself a little breather because dang, that's hard. So that's the first type of hollow hold. I'm going to show you progressions coming up in a minute, and we're going to make it harder and harder and harder. But the first way you need to train it is you need to do all of those steps, get it good, get it just cemented into that muscle memory of yours so that it becomes automatic. You start feeling the shake, you start feeling the burn almost immediately, and breathe through it. Great job. All right, let's talk about some common mistakes I see done with the hollow hold and how to easily correct them. And also, if you want to watch the video through once, just so that you can kind of see what is coming, and then watch the video again and do it along with me, whatever works for you best, please. All right, let's jump right in. Let's lie down, get in our hollow hold position. We know what to do, so let's just practice for a moment. All right. Activating everything, getting rid of that gap. Now, here's the most important mistake I want corrected immediately. And if you don't practice it, then you're not going to master it. It's the gap. It's this thing here. When you slide the fingertips under there and you press down and you get rid of that gap, we are solid, we are golden. I am happy. You are progressing. So this is the one thing that goes the quickest because we're activating the core this whole time. There's no break for the core. When you break, the gap comes. That's how you know. All right, so that's mistake number one. I would honestly rather have you do shorter time lengths. So like maybe a 5-second or a 10-second, 15, 30 seconds, whatever feels good and challenging for you, versus trying to get 60 seconds or longer, but then, sacrificing form. I always, always, always want you to choose quality over quantity. Okay, let's move on to the next mistake I see happen all the time It's typically with the head. I see people, they're not used to holding up their weight like in this way. And so their neck starts to feel strained, and then they let their head go, or they tuck their chin way too much, and then they just fall out of the hollow hold when they know they could have gone longer. Easy correction, take your fingertips and put it right behind your head, elbows out, nice and wide. Give your neck a little bit of support. And if you even want to interlace your fingers and give it like a little extra support, fine by me. Continue leading with the chest. And also know that that rest is available to you exactly when you need it. Good. Now, people ask, hey, Kat, where should my gaze be? Just think, if my neck is in line with the rest of my spine and it's gentle, my gaze is just looking exactly where my eyes, would naturally go. So I'm not going back here and craning my neck backwards, and I'm not tucking too much. I'm just here. Ooh, dang, I can already feel that. All right, so I know I'm doing it right when I feel that. So let's go back into it again and do another common mistake I see, which is not activating all the muscles, just kind of being a little bit relaxed and focusing only on core. The whole reason why I created this course is because I want you to take these fundamental movements and take them to the next level, not just do them basic. So basic would be here, my feet are just kind of hanging out and existing. My arms are just down here by my sides. But what I want you to do is activate the toes, activate the fingertips, and then what it does is it kind of just like engages all of the other muscles. Make it super active, not flaccid and relaxed, active, okay? Make it harder than it needs to be. That way we get more bang for our buck, we get more muscle engagement, which gives us bigger results. Another common mistake, a huge one, is not breathing. Because this is so hard and there's so much core engagement, it's just very common for people to hold their breath. And so I want you to do your very best to get into your hollow hold, and when it gets really, really hard, I want you to focus on long, steady exhales. And if you have to do it so that it's audible, so that you can hear it, fine by me. That's totally fine. Just whatever you do, don't hold your breath. Breathe through the pain. Good. And let's see if there's anything else. I would say it's not lifting high enough. Sometimes when we get really, really tired, we don't lift those shoulders and chest off the ground high enough when we could. And so that's a way to kind of cheat it and not give it our all. And the whole point of this series, yet again, is to give it our all, to really like maximize the movement. So here's me activating my toes, hands, I'm lifting, I'm checking, boom, I'm here, I'm breathing. But you see how I could go higher? Woo, woo, that's a different movement right there. Woo, that's what I need you to do. Breathe, slow the breathing down, and then come up when you feel like you absolutely must. It's supposed to be challenging. It's not supposed to be easy. Okay, really good job. All right, let's talk about how to progress the hollow hold and do some different variations. So let's jump right in, lie down on our mat, get into that starting position with the hollow hold, which is right here. Remember, let's just check some of the most important things. Boom, I'm pressing in, good. Everything's activated, blades, toes, leading with the chest, breathing. Let's say I've mastered this and I'm able to hold it for a long period of time, anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds, and really have integrity with that movement. Then my next progression is extend one leg nice and long. Whoo! That increases the challenge quite a bit. Plus, this whole time I'm staying up there. This time adds up and it makes it hard. Now we need to balance it out. Boom, we need to switch. Do you see my toes continue to stay activated? Oh yeah, I need your toes to stay activated. I need your arms to stay activated, and I'm gonna rest, holy Lord, because I can feel it. And I may have been holding my breath a little bit because I was talking through that with you. Hopefully you're not talking and you are breathing. And I want to remind you to really focus on elongating that exhale. The inhale is going to happen naturally. So just focus on elongating that exhale. All right, next progression. You might have already guessed it. We're here. We just did one leg extended. We switched. Guess what? Woo! Okay, we got to get both. Now, I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to go underneath. It's coming up a little bit, so I got to really press it up. And look, I got to move my legs up. Did you see that? I had to move my legs up. Cramp. Okay, here we go. Yeah, right there. Now I feel my low. Once I get that more activated, then I can start to bring it down. My arms are forward, and I'm going to rest. That gets very real, very, very quickly. And I'm going to show you the hardest version of the hollow hold. P.S. I'm not just hanging out in the hardest version of hollow hold day after day. This is hard. So if you want to get really, really good at it, I suggest that you do this every day, or whenever you do the hollow hold, you work your way up to the hardest variation, which I'm going to show you right now. All right, let's go through and just make sure we have all the other ones before. Because this one right here is hard. If you do it right and you hold it for a long enough time, this is hard. Boom, harder, balance it out, harder still, hard. Wow. Breathing, squeezing the glutes, coming up, resting when I need to. Wow. Did you notice the shape of my body in the hardest version? Do I kind of look like a banana? That's what you're looking for, because at the bottom of a banana, it's nice and flat. I've really got to be mindful about pushing my lower back down into the ground. And so I want you to remember to do that. All right, so let me show you the hardest version of that hollow hold again, okay? Your body looks like a banana because the low back is still pressing down into the ground. Don't think that you have to hold it for super long periods of time. Plus, when you start to get it, you might want to start with the hardest version, right? And then you progress down. So actually, let's do that right now. Let's start with the hardest version while we have a little bit more energy, because as we go on, that energy is going to start to go down and get depleted, right? Okay, so let's do that. We're here. We just quickly check it. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Active from toes to fingertips. Then arms down here. This is also very, very hard. I'm not sure if it's easier. I'm going to bring my legs up just a smidge right here. Oh yeah, feeling it. That's easier. I feel really, really confident here. This is kind of my favorite pose in hollow hold. Boom, I balance it out. And then when I'm really tired, but I'm still working really, really hard because all of this work is accumulating, and lift and rest. Oh God, that's good. So those are your progressions from hardest back to easiest. But if we're being real, easiest is not easy. So remember to always have integrity with the movement. Constantly check yourself by pressing down. Also, before we finish this module, just want to remind you that, remember, if your neck is starting to feel a little bit of strain, I don't want you to hurt that. Put your hands behind your head, okay? If you want to do long legs with this, fine by me, no problem. Here, really good. Switch it, here, no problem at all. Just do that if you need that. And then as your neck gets stronger and more used to that movement, then you can feel free to elongate your arms. All right.